Hello and welcome to each one of you to this brand new spanking program called Monday Football Review, where every Monday will be coming into your homes, onto your tablets and whatever gadget that you use, and we speak all things football. And we'll be talking about local, regional and international football, making sure that we keep you abreast with everything that is happening across the world, and especially as well looking into our players, Zimbabwean players that are doing wonders and miss kicks all over the world. My name is Maimba, I'll be your host, but with me I'll be having the legend himself, our local pundit, a former football player, and he is going to be making sure that he helps us with conversations around all things football. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Alois Bunjira. Hey Alois, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Maimba. Good to see you too.
Staying safe?
Yeah, I'm staying safe.
And making sure that you're always exercising and staying healthy.
Of course.
I wanted to tell you that I always get your videos, exercise video clips, and every time
Are you following them?
I'm like always following Alois when he sends to my WhatsApp. Which is really, really good. And look, Alois, this is the first episode of this show.
Yep.
We want to talk all things football. We'll be talking about the local league. Not only the local league, do we even have a league? We'll be talking about...
Coming soon.
Football matters. Well, it's been coming soon for the past 18 months. Football matters, all things football. We'll be talking about regional football and international sport. But we're going to go straight into the international. We want to talk about the EPL, we're going to talk about the Bundesliga, we want to talk about the La Liga, we want to talk about the French league as well. And we're going to talk as well about the South African Premiership as well. But let's go straight, because this program, every Monday, we're going to be reviewing what would have happened from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And all sport, all football with regards to the different leagues. Now tell me, Alois, obviously, like Jurgen Klopp would say, the English Premier League, and everybody would say, English Premier League, the best league in the world, as some would put it.
No, I agree with that. I definitely agree.
So let's talk about the results. I'm just going to go through the results for the top team, the top maybe 5, 6. We'll talk about Manchester City literally destroying Norwich 5-0. And we're going to be talking about that. Can Man City be stopped this season? This is what we're going to talk about. Liverpool, my team, winning 2-0 against Burnley. Manchester United, your team being held, or rather, they held Southampton 1-0. And of course, we want to talk about Lukaku, the return of Lukaku. Chelsea, they're winning 2-0. And we're going to touch, of course, on our very own Nakamba at Aston Villa. Let's look at the first game, of course, which is Manchester City. Do you think that Manchester City can be stopped this season?
Being stopped, I wouldn't say that they will be stopped, but I can say that there's going to be very stiff competition. I think the EPL is going to be very tight this season. But obviously, when we talk about the English Premier Soccer League, with the way Manchester City are playing and with the way that they've always played in the past few seasons, we have seen them challenging every season. And obviously, with a coach like Pep Guardiola, they are always going to be in the equation for the championship. And obviously, for many people as well, they are the favorites to win the championship. But like I said, that is going to be tough. When you look at other teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, Spurs as well, you can actually see that there is a very tough competition for the EPL this season.
You speak of Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool last season they played without VVD, and now he's back, Van Dijk. What do you think? Do you think that obviously him being back is going to really have Liverpool challenging for the honours?
Yeah, when you look at the games that they've played with VVD just now, you can actually feel that there is some air of confidence in the team. There is an air of confidence in the way they play. You can actually feel that even the players themselves, they are more comfortable. They believe that with Van Dijk coming in to actually combined with Alisson. You know, that's a very good combination, unusual combination of a defender and a goalkeeper. But for us, for some of us, when we were watching, it's actually a very strong combination of those two, because Van Dijk, he looks like he is the glue to their defensive aspiration, to their defensive
and his passes,
structure.
His passes that then build up to some of the goals that have happened so far. And of course, VVD. You then talk of the three musketeers. It looks like they are, judging from the first game, that the three musketeers could be back: Firmino, Salah, and Mane. What do you think about these three musketeers? Do you think that, of course, with Jota coming in and Firmino and Jota with regards to starting and playing, how do you see that playing up going into the season?
You know, that obviously makes Liverpool very dangerous, to be honest, because when you look at Van Dijk, you know, you say that about his passes. His passes are not those, you're not talking about those short passes, you're talking about those diagonal passes with the long range. Yes, those are going to the front three, and those are runners. You know, all three of them, they are runners. They get into space very well. And you know what? When they know that they've got Van Dijk, they are not scared to make those runs, because they know that if they make the run, the ball is coming. So that's how solid Van Dijk is, because he's bringing even the front players confidence back as well. They are now doing what they were doing those past 3 seasons. You know, when they finished second and when they went on to win the league, they were running ragged. They were the most dangerous trio in the Premiership, and now it looks like they're back. It makes Liverpool very dangerous. Now it's like they're complete. Like I was saying, Van Dijk, when he is like the glue. All of a sudden, the defense looks very solid. Whoever he partners, this time around he was with Matip. There is Robinson. Those are the obvious choices for the fullbacks. With Alexander, you know. So when you look at that kind of team at Liverpool, now it starts picking itself again. You can actually pick
an obvious choice now with Tsimikas coming in the way that he has played. I mean, of course, he will always be, but he has been providing excellent cover. The game that he's played is actually man of the match. So I think that he has something on his hands that he really needs to play to push up. Otherwise, this young boy is coming in hot.
I think it's always healthy for a team to actually have backup. You know, you put it correctly when you say he has been very good cover. You know, but I think that Liverpool, when they are at their strongest, that team picks itself. You know, the first 11, that is. And I always see Robinson as the number 1 left back or the number 1 left wing back for Liverpool. You will play, but the other players will always be backup, because that's the hallmark of a strong team. When a team picks itself up, and even the Liverpool fans, the Dynamos fans, the Cape United fans here, the Manchester United fans, you can ask them who is going to be playing for Liverpool when they are all fit. They'll give you almost the identical lineup. Then you know that's the hallmark of a good team. So that makes Liverpool very dangerous, because of that consistency in the team selection. It's actually key, because it makes for very good combinations.
Well, look, we're not gonna go on. I mean, it's my team, but let's move from Liverpool. Let's go to your team, Manchester United. Ole, what's going on? He brings in new players, makes them sit on the bench. He plays Martial ahead of Cavani. Jadon Sancho, record signing, sitting on the bench. Then why buy? Why? What is it? I mean, I don't get it.
I also don't know the reason why these two are not playing. He bought Varane, he's not playing. He bought Jadon Sancho for a lot of money. You know, we were all excited about Jadon Sancho for many seasons, 2 seasons running. There was always speculation about Jadon Sancho coming to Manchester United.
And now he's finally here.
Now he's finally here. What happens? He's not playing. We don't know. Maybe a train. See, sometimes we don't know what is happening.
What's happening at training?
Yeah, we don't know what is happening in the background. So they've got their reasons. They might not come out and tell us, but we are confused as well, because when a team signs players and everybody is excited, we expect them to play. You know, the same happened with Cavani. We bought Cavani, and all of a sudden Cavani is a permanent. He's a fringe player.
He's actually coming in as a substitute to Martial.
Exactly. So we don't know what is happening there, but sooner or later, I'm sure that he's going to be given a chance. When he gets his chance, I'm talking about Jadon Sancho. That is because I know Varane will play. Varane will definitely play. I'm not sure what he's holding up, but he will definitely play and partner with the captain. I'm so sure of that, you know. But Jordan Sancho, there is a bit of competition up front as well. So we wait and see. But we are still confused to why he is not playing, and we're also not happy. You know, one game we won 5-0. We thought, oh my God, here is the juggernaut that is coming. Then we draw against Southampton. Then we start doubting again. So we get into the third game now. We're not so sure which team is going to trot onto the field. We're now doubting again. Until the team hits consistency, that's when we can actually start believing again. But for now, we believed after the first game. Now we are now doubting again. It takes consistency. Look at Liverpool, 2 games, 6 points already, playing convincingly, and already you can actually feel that this is a serious threat.
And you speak about sooner or later, and sooner or later, with the English Premier League, this is how teams are left behind. You've already spoken about the 6 points, and also you also spoke about when a manager buys players, the whole idea is for them to play.
Yeah.
And this is what Tuchel did with Chelsea. They bring back Lukaku. Lukaku comes back and he gives a bang of a goal. Immediately his impact is felt in the EPL and across the world, you know. And we're going to go now to Lukaku. Your thoughts, him coming back to Chelsea and his threat to the EPL, really?
Yeah, with Lukaku, you know, like you said, that, you know, a coach, when you buy a player, we expect the player to go on and play, especially if he's an expensive player. Man City also did that with Grealish. Straight away, Grealish is playing. And now Lukaku comes in. You can actually feel that he gives them the extra that they didn't have. That makes Chelsea very dangerous. Look at Chelsea. They fought for the top 4 last season. Their top goal scorer had 7 goals, Jorginho, and some of the goals were coming from the penalty spot. And the second top scorer was Werner, you know, on 6 goals. That's not good enough for a team that wants to win the championship. But they finished 4th. That's actually outstanding. And they're actually European Super Cup champions. They are the European Champions League champions. So you can actually tell that, you know what, they were winning, but they didn't have a gunslinger, a renowned gunslinger, you know, who can actually give them 20 plus goals. Now they've got Lukaku. Check how dangerous they can be. If they were that leader, that dangerous as a team, without a striker that scores 10 goals for them, imagine with a striker that gives them 10, 15, 20 extra goals. That is what Lukaku is going to give them. Lukaku, I don't remember in his career when he started playing top flight football, I'm talking about when he was like a regular striker for a team. I don't remember him scoring less than 15 goals. He is a 20 plus goal striker, and I'm sure that he will hit. I'm not saying 20, probably, let's say, I'm saying to be comfortable, he will hit 15 plus.
He will hit 15, and because of that, it goes back to what we've been talking about. That if Lukaku is going to hit 15, then you're going to find that Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, it's really going to be tight going into the 35th game, or maybe by Christmas, Boxing Day.
Don't discount Spurs as well.
Yes, I was going to bring. I was actually going to bring out. I was going to now bring up Spurs, and then bringing in Nuno, and he's won both games. And the last game that he won against his old team Wolves. You know, and where are you placing Spurs? Are they the dark horse? Are they? Do you think that right at the end we're going to talk about a top 4 prediction? Do you think that Spurs is going to be knocking on the top 4?
Yeah. See, when you're looking at the top 4, basically you want to believe that it's Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. But then there is going to be one team or two that are going to they might just spoil the party. And obviously Spurs. You know, Spurs. You know, in the last 3 years they finished 2nd. So that's actually formidable. So when you look at that, you know, they are the one team that can actually break that top 4 that is expected from everybody. They might get crashed into that top 4, because you see when they are playing, even without Harry Kane, they are playing as a team. You know, they are playing with the renewed vigor. They are playing with renewed energy. You can sense that, you know, this is a team that actually believes in their coach. You know, sometimes football is all about believing in the coach, believing in the coach's method. So you can actually see that with the Spurs players, they believe in the coach. They run. They've got energy, and you can tell that they are doing things that they've been taught. They are doing things that they know they're doing. You see, when you know exactly what you need to do, you do it confidently. You don't even have have to look around so that you can start your run. You only start making that run because it's automatic, because the other teammate, then the next teammate, they know exactly what is going on, why he's running there, why the ball is getting there. They know that by the time the ball gets there, it's going to be here. So you can actually tell that this is how Spurs are playing without all these big players, without even Harry Kane there. But then with Harry Kane, they can only be more dangerous. We just wait and see if he is still going to stay at Spurs. But a little bird behind my head is telling me, nah, he's gonna go to Man City.
Harry Kane,
just before the transfer.
Stories of Harry Kane. We're gonna talk about Lionel Messi later. We're about to go to a break, but before we go to the break, I want us to wrap up the EPL and talk about. Of course, we've got to talk about Marvelous Nakamba, our very own boy, playing in the EPL. You know, we're closing the EPL conversations now. Marvelous Nakamba played in the first game, was an unused substitute in the second game. In the mix of the team, Aston Villa, do you think that Marvelous is going to stamp his authority and stamp his presence in each game that's coming for Aston Villa? Especially also with talk of some teams being interested in him. What is your take with regards to Marvelous?
You know, Marvelous is my boy. I have always thought that he is a very good player and he fits in well at Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa is a modest enough team for him to actually grow. You know, he just needs to come out of his shell and play the way he knows. You know, I watched Nakamba play in Holland. I watched him play in Belgium. The boy can play. He can play for Aston Villa. You know, he can play in the first 11 at Aston Villa. I'm waiting for the day that he is going to get a very extended run in the team so that he can actually prove himself. I still believe that he can play. You know, hopefully, my wish is for him to actually get a role that he can be allowed to move forward a little bit. You know, I would rather have Douglas Luiz staying and let Marvelous Nakamba go a little bit. But they actually sometimes when they play together, they would rather have Marvelous staying. But I believe maybe he's more disciplined at the holding role position. But I would prefer for him to go forward. Yes, I would prefer for him to go more. A lot of people don't really realize that Marvelous Nakamba is a very, very skillful boy. He is a very skillful player. He can actually afford to go forward. Marvelous Nakamba can actually dribble. He can actually turn around with the ball. You know, so I would love to see one day he's given that role, that he is allowed to go forward a little bit, because he can even take shots as well. He has got a very good technique as well. So I've got a feeling that he should stay at Aston Villa and fight for his position and climb to that first 11 jersey. I believe that he will.
Nakamba should stay, and that's what Alois Bunjira says, and that's what he thinks. He actually says Marvelous can do runs, he can dribble, he can do all sorts of amazing footwork with the ball. So we're going to come back. We're going to come back in the second segment. We're going to talk about the rest of the leagues, La Liga, Bundesliga, and make sure that you're on point with everything that's happening. We're going to take a break and we'll be back shortly.
Here comes the business lady.
She always has a chauffeur.
Hey Stella, we've been waiting for you. What have you been up to?
Sorry girls, I've just been to DHMT Accounting. They've finished doing my tax returns and account submissions, all done and dusted. They are so efficient. DHMT Accounting Limited for all your UK accounting and HMRC requirements.
Alois, we were talking about the EPL in the first segment. We're going to go now to the other leagues. We want to talk about the Spanish La Liga, where Atletico Madrid won 1-0 versus Elche. Athletic Club and Barcelona played out a 1-0 draw, and then Levante and Real Madrid a 3-0 draw. Barcelona, Lionel Messi has left. Do you think that there is life after Messi, after Messi has gone?
There's always, Barcelona will always be there. You know, Barcelona is a big club. You know, yes, Lionel Messi was a big star at the club, but there were also stars before him. Just before Lionel Messi, there was Ronaldinho. Remember him?
Yes,
he was
absolutely.
there. Yeah, before Ronaldinho.
But it feels like we've always known Lionel. You know, it actually feels that there were never other stars.
Yeah, his first Champions League trophy, he was not playing, he was on the bench. You know, those were the days when Ronaldinho and Samuel Eto'o was playing. Yeah. So they always start. Before them, we also had Romario. You know, remember Hristo Stoichkov?
Yes.
You know, they played,
Yes.
you know, they were star players. Barcelona were hot those days. And before them, remember Diego Maradona? The
list of stars goes on. And this is you just trying to say that life goes on even after Messi. And hopefully, or not hopefully, definitely we're going to have new stars
coming up,
standing up and being counted as well as Barcelona goes through a phase, or not even a phase, life after Lionel Messi has gone. You know, so obviously, what do you think is going to be? What are we going to be looking at as Spanish La Liga? Is Atletico Madrid going to retain?
Yeah, you know, when you look at the situation right now, you can actually tell that, you know what, Real Madrid are not getting any stronger than they were last season. To be honest, you know, yes, the only new signing that they've got is the coach. You know, they've got a new coach, but they lost Varane. You know, I'm not sure about the central defensive pairing. Yes, they won convincingly last year the first match, but this one they drew. You know, you can actually start telling that, you know, they're not as strong as they were last season. And then when you look at Barcelona without Lionel Messi, they are not as strong as they were last season. And then you look at Atletico Madrid, they didn't lose anybody. They are as strong as they were last season. They still have the same coach. And what happens when you are still the same way? The consistency that they have got. So with the consistency, they've got the belief. And now, game 2, they are the ones that have got a 100% record. It's already advantage Atletico Madrid. So I'm actually afraid that, you know, I might be a Real Madrid fan. But for me, right now, it looks like Atletico Madrid
looks like Atletico are going to retain their championship.
They're in a strong position to do that. For me, I have a feeling that they are in a very good position to actually retain the championship by virtue of being the consistent team as far as the lineup is concerned. The consistency in the coaching department as well. Their coach, they coach forever. You know, the players know exactly what the coach wants, and even the players themselves, there hasn't been a lot of player movement as well in their camp. So for me, I think they stand a better chance. They are the strongest team in the La Liga.
Well, Alex thinks that Atletico Madrid are the strongest team, and we would like to hear from you guys what you think. All right, please send us your messages and tell us where you're watching from. Where you're watching from all over the world, wherever it is. Just let us know where you're watching from. But most importantly, tell us your thoughts about, of course, the English Premier League. Tell us your thoughts about Marvelous Nakamba. Tell us your thoughts about the Spanish League and every other league that we're talking about. We really would like to hear your feedback so that we can have a conversation with you, our fans across the world, as we, of course, just bring you different conversations and different stories with regards to football across the world. We've just touched on the Spanish La Liga there. We want to go now. We spoke about Lionel Messi moving from Barcelona, from the La Liga, and going to the French League. You know, everybody wanted him, but probably it came down to money. But he then settled, maybe, of course, because his friend Neymar is there, he settled for PSG. And he hasn't played. What's going on? When does Messi, the Messi mania that had gripped France, you know, I mean, we understand that whilst he was swimming in his swimming pool in Barcelona, there were fans at the airport. This is how ridiculous it was. He hasn't played. What's going on? Has your bird said anything with regards to that?
Not yet. The bird hasn't said anything. We don't know why he's not playing yet, but everyone is waiting. The whole world is waiting for him. That was a massive move. You know, you saw at the airport, in the streets of Paris, you know, the sports shops got wiped out. You know, the jerseys, the PSG jerseys got wiped out. But the good thing about PSG this time around, you know, that they mean business. You know, I think Lionel Messi has just rejuvenated everybody. Remember, they lost the league championship to Lille last season. You know, I don't think they're going to make that mistake this season. They've roamed home to two consecutive wins without Lionel Messi. Now you can imagine when Lionel Messi comes into the picture. Angel Di Maria, they've got Neymar, you know, and they've got Mbappe, and then you add Lionel Messi to the equation, then you can actually see what kind of ammunition that PSG has got. It's going to be very interesting to see how the other teams like Lyon, Lille, and Monaco are going to respond to this. But it's going to be an uphill task. It's just interesting that we've got our boys in the French La Liga that will be competing against PSG. It's going to be fun to watch them play.
You spoke about the boys, but before we go to the boys, Mbappe has always been the poster boy. He's always been the dominant PSG. You speak PSG, you speak Mbappe. Now with the coming in of Messi, the spotlight is going to shift. Do you think that these guys are going to have a good working relationship on and off the pitch?
I believe so. You know, even when Neymar was at Barcelona, Neymar still got his fair share of attention. You know, at Barcelona, you will still get that. But when you look at Mbappe is French. You know, he's playing in the French league, so obviously he is going to have a lot of admirers from his own nation as well, and obviously biased as well. They want their own star to also stay up top. And besides, you know, Lionel Messi is a laid-back character. Remember, he is not your poster boy type of player. So I don't see him being the poster boy of PSG. I think Mbappe will retain that. You know, he will still be the poster boy of PSG, of French league as well, because he has got the looks, he has got the stature, he has got the arrogance, he has got everything going to be a poster boy. So I think he will retain that. Lionel Messi will do his talking on the field, and obviously commercially also he's going to do his things commercially. Like you said, he was sitting in his pool and money still coming in through him, the jerseys and everything. You know, he is commercial. Messi is box office, he's commercial. But as far as the poster boy is concerned, I think Mbappe will retain that.
You spoke about our boys there. We've got obviously Tino Kadewere and Marshall Munetsi. Marshall's team drew 1-1, and Tino's team also drew 3-3. He played for about 15 minutes. How do you see Messi coming in? No, of course, they already play with stars. We know that. But the Messi effect on our boys, and of course cascading down to just raising their bar. Do you think that this is going to have a good effect generally on their development and just playing against Messi?
I think it's actually quite good, and obviously I believe that as footballers individually, they're very excited about it. You know, it was also good to see Marshall Munetsi scoring his first goal for his team as well. This season he scored one when they drew, and it was also good to see Tino coming in. You know, but Tino, I think we need him to rediscover his form, and we need him to regain his position, because we don't want to see him on the bench. Look, Depay left. You know, when Depay left, we thought Tino was going to be solid in the starting lineup, because Depay has left and Tino was actually going to be comfortable. But we want to see him. We don't want him to come from the bench. We want to see him coming in and scoring goals from the starting 11 as well. So it's not going well as we want so far, because obviously we want him to actually replicate his form from last season. He did well last season until he got injured. He was actually doing well for PSG, so for Lyon rather. So we want him to carry on from where he left last season. But as for Marshall Munetsi, I'm happy with his progress. He is doing well, and obviously with the Messi effect, I think the spotlight is now on the French league, so we'll definitely be talking more about them, we'll definitely be watching more about them, and obviously the limelight is much more on them as well because of the Messi effect.
We're going to be talking a lot about these boys when you talk about the national team, the Zimbabwean local national team later on, but I want us to wrap up in this segment and talk about the German Bundesliga and of course the Italian league. German Bundesliga, Dortmund lost 2-1, Bayern won 3-2. How do you see the race there as we go into this? I know that was match day 2. Yeah. Of 38. So what are your thoughts with regards to the German Bundesliga?
You know, I would love to have a situation whereby we have a different winner in Germany. You know, I've always advocated for that. You know, when I look at the contenders there, I look at Borussia Dortmund and believe that they've got the squad. You know, they've got the squad, they've got the players to actually do it. But it's disappointing when you see them losing games that they are supposed to win. And you see Bayern Munich, sometimes when they are off form, they win games. They collect points when, you know, they dig deep to collect points in matches that they are not even playing well. So when you look at that situation, then you start worrying about, I start worrying about Bayern Munich winning the league again. But I still believe that if Borussia Dortmund put their things together and they play with the energy, because they've got the younger squad, than Bayern Munich. If they put their energy into this game and play with intensity in every game that they play, and not rely too much as well on Haaland as well, they need a lot more players coming in to score, not just depend on Haaland as well. I'm just worried that they lost Jordan Sancho, yes, but I think they still have good youngsters that can take over and actually.
Jordan Sancho is not playing at Manchester United.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I believe that there still is still game on between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. It's still going to be
game on. Like I said, it's only the second game, so anything can really happen. But it's important that you pick up those points right at the beginning, because right there when you get about Christmas, you will start thinking about those points that you left out. So much pressure that you've been playing with. And finally, we want to go to the Italian league. Inter Milan winning 4-0. Udinese versus. That was Inter Milan versus Genoa, 4-0, and then Udinese versus Juventus. They drew 2-2. Ronaldo's late goal being denied there by VAR. So, what are your thoughts as we go into this? And also the fact that Ronaldo was asking to get benched. What's the story with that? How does a player want to stay away?
Now, there should be something that is going on, that is making him unhappy, because look, every player wants to play football. No player wants to sit on the bench and get paid. So probably there's something that we might
That's
hear.
going to come out.
We'll hear about it, but I've got mixed feelings about it, honestly speaking, because I'm a Ronaldo fan, but I'm not a Juve fan. I don't want them to. They had won before Inter won the league last season. It was Juve 9. I think they won about 9 titles on the trot. I didn't like that. Same thing, the same way that I don't like Bayern Munich winning the titles in Germany. So that's the same thing, you see. So I'm happy that they drew. They've already started badly, according to me, because Inter Milan, they took off from where they left off last season. Even without Lukaku, it shows that they are still banging in the goals without Lukaku. So they are still strong, so they're still going forward. I hope that they can actually keep the trophy and keep it away from Juve, so that we can have different champions every season. Maybe they can win it twice, and then we can also see Lazio coming in or Napoli. But those two, they also disappoint. All these years,
all these
years Juve were winning this league. They were chasing, and you think they're doing something, and then five games to go, they collapse and let Juve take away with it. So I was happy that Inter did this and they won it, and now they've started strongly as well now. So I'm looking forward to Inter. I'm not a fan of Inter, by the way. I'm an AC Milan fan, but I can see that my AC Milan, they're not yet ready for the championship. So I'll be supporting Inter Milan to win it.
AC Milan has not been ready for the championship for a long time. That being said, we would like to hear from you. This program is your program. This show is your show. We want to hear your thoughts. Tell us what do you think is going on with Ronaldo? Where do you think he's going to go? What's the most likely destination that Ronaldo would
PSG,
or he would probably go to the United States of America? We're going to find out very, very soon as we close the second segment, and we'll be back in the third and final segment on this show, Monday Football Review.
Here comes the business lady.
She always has a chauffeur.
Hey Stella, we've been waiting for you. What have you been up to?
Sorry girls, I've just been to DHMT Accounting. They've finished doing my tax returns and account submissions, all done and dusted. They are so efficient.
DHMT Accounting Limited for all your UK accounting and HMRC requirements.
Hello and welcome to the third and final segment of Monday Football Review, where we talk all things football, from local, regional and international football. And I've got Alois in the studio, and we've spoken about the EPL, we've spoken about the La Liga, Bundesliga and all the other leagues. We need to come back home and speak about what's going on with our football here in Zimbabwe. As you know, we have World Cup qualifiers coming through, and The national team has not been announced as yet, and we are 10 days away. I still can't believe it, actually. I think it's a hoax. I think the team is assembled in some secret place and they are training and with their coach. Right now, I can't believe that the national team has not been announced.
Nah, they can't be training at some secret place when we recently saw Marvelous Nakamba on the bench for Aston Villa.
Well, that is true. That was a blonde moment.
Just scored.
Exactly.
You know, came on for the last 15 minutes. So the team has not been announced. So I don't know. You know, we might be smiling, but it's not a matter to be smiling about.
Yeah.
To be honest, we're playing against Bafana. The team was announced some 10, 15 days ago. We already spoke about them. Obviously, the coach is already planning, but we don't know. We just heard that our coach was actually out of the country. He was not here. He was in Croatia. So we were.
Is he not back?
We don't really know.
We have to ask our producer to find out if the coach is back.
But how do we get to 10 days to go before the match, before the team is even announced? Maybe they've already assembled the team, like you said, on paper, informed the players that are coming already and the players that are available. I don't know, but it's unusual for a nation to do it secretly. Because this is the nation's team. This is the nation's team.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves to know who is coming, who is not coming, and we need to know well in advance. We're supposed to even know about a provision. It was supposed to be even a provisional squad. Yeah. Then from the provisional squad, then you see the players that are available.
I don't think they've got time. There's time for a provisional squad.
There's no more time. There's no more time.
It's just calling those that are going to be. It's actually just the coach or management then just announcing the team that's going to go straight in.
18 players, straight into camp.
And so, but there was a team that was announced though.
The team that was announced.
There was a team that was announced that was a watch on social media, and let me just wait. So, Warriors squad that will participate in the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
Match is scheduled to start in September. Goalkeepers with Martin Mapisa from Zamora FC, Washington Ruby from Sakuma, Talbot Shumba unattached. Defenders with Tendai Darikwa, Wigan Athletic, Jordan Zemura Bournemouth, Teenager Debe, Houston the Dynamo, Brendan Galloway Argyle, Divine Lunga Mamelodi Sundowns. We have Jimmy Zingai unattached, Alec Mudimu unattached, Ethan Kachosa, Sunderland. Midfielders, we have Marvelous Nakamba, Aston Villa. We have Marshall Munetsi, Stade Reims. We've got Kunagwashe Mahachi, Supersport United. We have Blessing Sarupinda, Sukukune FC. We have Knowledge Musona, Aital, in Saudi Arabia. We have Kundai Benyu, Rebels FC, Kama Billiard, Kaizer Chiefs, Jonah Fabish, Hamburg FC. We have strikers, Tino Kadewere, Olympic Lyon, Macaulay Bourne, Ipswich, Admiral Muskwe, Luton Town, David Moyo, FC Hamilton, Prince Dube, Azam FC. So this team later turned out to be a fake team, fake news, doing the most. Maybe it was somebody who realized the team hasn't been announced. So why don't I just give them the team?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's somebody who got impatient, that the team has not been announced, and he just and decided. But whoever did this, he's good. He follows football, and he's actually quite. If I was the coach, I would take this team. Maybe there's one or two omissions.
Let's say you're the coach.
I'll take this team.
Let's play it this way, Alex. Let's say you are the coach, right?
Yeah.
We have, and also if there's any other player that you think was supposed to be there, we'll take it from there. Goalkeepers, we've got Martin Mapisa, Zamora FC, Washington Marubi, and Talbot Shumba. Who would be your choice of goalkeepers?
I'll take all three. Because honestly speaking, if we don't take those, who has been performing well? Maybe you can talk about Tapuaka Pini, but
if you're talking about
people have already taken him out. Yes.
If you're talking about performance, then why would you take an unattached player?
Sometimes.
If you're saying these guys are performing well, but we've got an unattached player, which means there is no performance. So when we take,
we haven't gone there yet. We were talking about goalkeepers.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're talking about goalkeepers.
Yes, and we've got Talbot Shumba as a goalkeeper.
Yes. So for me, I'll take the three goalkeepers.
Why would you take Talbot?
Because Talbot Shumba was the goalkeeper when we played against Zambia. at the National Sports Stadium against Algeria. Remember, for me, he looked steady. He looked the part. You know, he looked
So
like
you think
he's a national team goalkeeper. Yes, when you look at Washington Arube, his experience, he was doing well in South Africa, you know, and he actually did well at the COSAFA as well. I actually I think that he is in top form. He's only 34. He's the same age as Emmanuel Noh, who is playing for Germany. So for me, it goes. Then we've got Mapisa. For me, Mapisa is like an understudy to the other two. So it's actually quite good for that situation.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. For the sake of our time, let's move on to defenders. Defenders, you've got Tenda Darikwa, you've got Jordan Zemura, you've got Tine Jadebe, you've got Brendan Galloway, you've got Divine Lunga, you've got Jimmy Zingai, you've got Alec Modimu, you've got two unattached, and then you've got Ethan Kachosa.
Yeah, it's tricky, you know, when it comes to unattached players. You know, sometimes unattached players in a national team, usually it's not a new player. You cannot
Correct.
have a new player as an unattached player.
Correct.
It is a player that has been playing for the national team, giving you what you want as a coach. You are confident, you've got confidence in this player. You know that as long as the player comes to the camp and I look at him, if he is match fit, that's usually the case, that you believe that this is a good player who has delivered for me. He knows what I want. So the only thing that is missing might be match fitness, or fitness rather, in general. So if he comes into camp and I see that he is fit, he is in. I think that's the only reason why unattached players, a coach will never call an unattached player who has never played for him. No, he will never do that. Usually it's a player that has played for him, you've got confidence in the player, and all you want to check is match fitness. If he's good to go, he will be in the team.
For the midfielders, I'm not going to touch on all of these, but I want to go to Fabish. To Jonah Fabish, have you watched this boy play? Have you ever watched any of his matches?
Yeah, I've watched a few games, but I still believe that he needs time to actually come to the lighter games. You know, when we play in the COSAFA, when you play in the like AFCON matches that are not high profile. You know, when we play, I want to see him without pressure, where we can actually see that he can actually play, and then we draft him in.
In other words, you're saying he's not ready for the national team. He should not have been called. He should have come to play for COSAFA, where he would then grow, and we are able to watch him and see how he plays.
No, because he's not playing top flight football in Germany, you know, and he needs to be playing top level football. You know, if a player is actually playing for top level football in his country, then you know what, he's a shoe-in fit. But then if you're not playing,
answer the question. Do you think that, are you then saying that he should not, at this instance, this is not a game for us to have experimented and called him for this match?
I don't think so. I don't think he should be in this squad.
Okay, so there goes for Jonah Fabish. We'll see if he makes the squad. Well, besides, remember, this is a fake. This is a fake squad.
Yeah, this is fake.
This is a fake squad. We didn't say that he was called.
And guys, I'm not saying Jonah Fabish is not in the squad. Don't take it from me that Adzingwanalo is
now. We're talking as if this guy messed up our brains, man. He messed up our minds. Okay, so we've got strikers. We've got Tino. We've got Macaulay. We've got Admiral, David Moyo, Prince Dube. Those are going to be our strikers. Again, Alois, going into the match against South Africa, Zifa is not announced. Are we ready? Does this even give confidence? I mean, they're now asking for 10,000 fans to be allowed into the stadium. Are we even ready on the COVID protocol? I mean, the league, we had a bit of football being played, and it was stopped by the government because of COVID regulations. Our ability, you know, to stage or to hold a match and make sure that all the processes, the safety processes are adhered to. So if our Premier Soccer League is in limbo and has not been played, and we haven't had consistent football in the last 18 months, are we able to host? Have we even, as a national association, we have not tested, we have not even done it at the lower level. Are we able to make sure that people are safe? these 10,000 spectators, even if the SRC was to push for them and be allowed to do that?
I don't know. Readiness maybe can only be shown by the people that are applying for it. To show the SRC that they are ready. To actually show, obviously SRC give the guidelines. We need A, B, C. So the Zimbabwe Football Association is supposed to be there to say, for A, we are ready to do it this way. For B, we are ready to do it this way. For C, we are ready to do it this way. Because at the end of the day, it's to protect the very fans that you want them to come to watch the match. You want to protect them. At the same time, you want to protect the players on the field. Remember, after the match, people can just jump onto the field and anything can happen. Do we have the security? Enough security to actually make sure that no one gets onto the field? There's a lot at stake. How about that 10,000? How are we counting the 10,000? Well, how are we going to know? We don't have 10 stars. Remember, we don't have 10 stars. At the gate that counts that we've got 10,000 inside the stadium now, so we don't know how are we going to count. And then outside that perimeter fence, outside that, are we going to have security to make sure? We've seen people jumping over the fence. How are we going to protect or stop fans that come and jump in illegally to go and watch? Are we ready for that as well? And then we're looking at the real protocols, the COVID inside. Are we going to be doing everything that is needed to be done for COVID?
When we get to 10,000, when we get to 10,000, how are we going to do the guys that are outside, beyond that? Are we going to say, hey, how are we going to do? What are the logistics?
I don't know. Pre-match tickets. But if we ever done pre-match tickets, but then again, how do you do
pre-match tickets in 10 days? You can't talk about pre-match tickets. We definitely can't talk about pre-match tickets for the game that's what I mean. Away. So those are the things really. Zimbabwe Football Association, we really would like more information and really to know what are the plans, what are the logistics, and just the issue of communication.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 10 days away and we've got no.
So that even the fans, they want to know. Fans want to know what are these. I want to go as a fan. I want to know, I have my own security concerns. I want to know what the association has planned around COVID to make sure that when I buy my ticket, I am safe from COVID when I go there. You get what I mean? So we want to know all those things. That kind of information, even before the application is approved. Yes, they can apply to CAF. CAF will just say, yes, we can allow you 10,000. CAF will just say that. But then it's up to the local authorities, the SRC, to actually go through the COVID protocols with ZIFA and approve internally. They should be an approval internally that, okay, CAF has allowed you, but then are we able to do it? It doesn't go without saying that CAF can go to Tambai, it's authority to SRC to say play. No. I think the Zimbabwean authorities, they also have their power to actually veto that and say, no. Yes, CAF, you've said you can play, but we are not ready to do that. So it's up to the Zimbabwe Football Association to actually show. But sometimes I also believe that it's up to the SRC as well to work with the Zimbabwe Football Association and say, guys, let's work together. We want this game to have 10,000 fans because this is for the national cause. Let's work together. Let's find solutions so that we can actually have the correct protocols so that we can have the 10,000 fans. How are we going to count the 10,000 fans? For me, I don't know at this present moment, but if it so happens, they have to work together to find a solution. If the SRC are not in that position, probably they will say, no, we're not doing it, because it's still short notice. And this is the same, the Zimbabwe Football Association, they haven't announced the team yet. We are working on different logistics, about 10,000 fans, to print the tickets. There's so much to do for ZIFA at short notice. The miracle workers, if they manage to get that.
Miracle workers. Some talk about miracle money, we talk about miracle.
There's so much to do.
Football being brewed in Zimbabwe, and it's going to be happening in the next 10 days as we host South Africa, and we wait to see what the Zimbabwe Football Association has for us in store. And when it happens, really, I mean, God forbid we lose. We've got to win that game. We all know we've got to win.
Yes.
And whatever happens on the day, we're all for Zimbabwe.
Fans or no fans.
But you can imagine what will happen if we lose that game, So these are the conversations that we're really having. And moving from the national team, we're going to talk about them again, obviously, next week. I want us to go to the biggest football club in Zimbabwe, Dynamos Football Club. And quite recently, they announced that they are doing away with the chief executive officer, Jonathan Mashingaidze, and they've elevated and I'm quoting them verbatim, not verbatim really, but they say that they've elevated Jonathan Mashinga to become a business consultant so that he can concentrate on Africa and the international community, and of course the business community as well. So, and they said effective 1 September, they are going through a new structural change. But the funny bit is they told us about Mashinga Idze, but they did not tell us about the structural change, that who's coming in, who's the new CEO, you know. Your thoughts with regards to this?
I don't know exactly. You know, when I heard about it, you know, I heard the structure that is outside of Dynamos, that is headed by Mashinga Idze, that he is gonna head a whole lot
outside of Dynamos?
Yeah, it's outside of Dynamos because these are consultants. You know, so he is going to be heading. He's going to be the leader of the consultants outside of Dynamos, but like you said, we didn't hear what is happening internally at Dynamos because obviously, you know, according to FIFA,
we didn't even hear about the other consultants as well. We just heard about Jonathan Mashinga Idze.
He would be working as the leader of the other consultants that we haven't been told about. Then internally, according to FIFA licensing system structures, a club must have a CEO. You know, that's the new trend. We moved away from Secretary General, Jan. So this is what we are hoping, we're expecting that we will hear about the replacement in that structural adjustment that they are doing. There has to be another CEO. But for now, we don't know what is happening as far as the Dynamos executive committee is up. What is happening with the executive? The only person that we know right now is Yvonne Mangunda. She's the one who is in the executive. No one else that we know at the moment. So we don't know yet what is going to happen. But we just hope that they will exercise what is required of a professional club to have a CEO, to have all these correct structures of the executive so that the club can run very well, because a club cannot run in this day and age without a chief executive. It just doesn't work. You can't just work with the business consultants without your own internal CEO.
And of course, I mean, business consultants apparently from what they were saying is that these guys are going to be going to corporates and engaging them on behalf of Dynamos. So my question then is, what would be the job of the CEO and the secretariat? What is the job of the PR, of Yvonne, whom you've mentioned?
Yeah.
What are they going to be doing if you've got a team of consultants that are going to be doing the same? Is this not a parallel structure, whereas the secretariat is really supposed to be doing the same job?
I don't know. That was my question, because I think the CEO is supposed to be running the club, consulting with the outside business analyst. It's actually the job of the CEO. When he is stuck, when the CEO is stuck, when he wants advice from outside, you source it externally. But it's supposed to be internally. You run the club internally. When then you find ways where you need outside sources, you want to source from outside, that's when you go to the business. That's how I understand it. But the CEO is the one that is running the club. Obviously, the policies are from the board or the chairman or the owners. I don't know, with the situation with Dynamos, it has to be the founding fathers of the team. So they say that the policy of the club, so that the CEO runs with the policy of the founding fathers and the chairman of the club. So that's, for me, that's what I know. So without the CEO, I'm not so sure that if the club are engaging from the founding fathers, are they going direct to the business consultants outside and run the club? So who will be running the club if they don't have?
Talking about founding fathers, I think that's a topic that we need to talk about on its own. I do understand that there's a court case that's currently in the courts right now, where these founding fathers, they are being challenged and so on with regards to the ownership of Dynamos. So we're going to be talking about that in the next programs to follow. But definitely, like we've said, interesting times at Dynamos. We're going to be following up that story, just finding out what's going on. And as we close, we're going to go back again, obviously, to the match that's coming up. Our captain, Knowledge Musona, just signed for a Saudi Arabia team. Your thoughts with regards, is this something that is going to benefit him as a player, do you think, from the league that he's come from to where he's now playing in Saudi? Or this is just, how it works when, you go to play in the MLS, you go and play in the United States of America. It's now your cash cow to prepare for your life after football.
Yeah, we don't know the figures, we don't know the numbers for that deal. But I would have loved to see him play even for a smaller team, or extended his contract with the team that he was at on loan from Anderlecht. You know, I think Saudi Arabia, for me, he is still our captain. I still believe that he is still good enough. I would have loved for him even to come to South Africa, come back to Kaizer Chiefs, or even to Mamelodi Sundowns. I wish he would have done that. You know, I discussed that with a few guys as well, that, you know what, it's his swan song, right? And then you need to already prepare for your life after football. What better way for you to do that than to already come back closer to home and start setting up things in South Africa, get a very big paycheck. He was going to get a very big paycheck in South Africa, so that you start working your things. If you're getting into business, if you're getting into whatever. But Saudi Arabia, the language barriers, there are a lot of difficulties, there are a lot of obstacles for him to actually do something, except to just sit there and do things remotely from there. I would have loved for him now to come down here, still play competitive football for top teams in South Africa. He could have done that, or have stayed in Belgium, where he already knows the language and play and speaks the language. I would have loved him to stay there. But like I said, we don't know the figures. We don't know what is in it for him. But probably he has got handlers as well. They looked at the pros and cons, and they settled. They decided that was the best deal. So we can only be happy for him and congratulate him for going there. But whatever if it's about football, I would have loved for him to play either in South Africa or to stay in Belgium. But if it's financial and they see a lot of benefits in that move, so congratulations, we're happy for the player.
Congratulations to our captain, Knowledge Musona. We wish you all the best. We're still definitely behind you, and we wish you all the best where you're playing your football. And again, as we're going to the 3rd of September, we're playing the World Cup qualifiers. We wish Zimbabwe the best. We can't wait for the Zimbabwe Football Association to make that announcement in the next few days. We hope and pray so that we can all know and you know, just jump behind our team, whatever it is. And we hope that again, the behind the scenes with the coach, on the day we will support him and we'll support the national team, because we definitely want to win. This has been your show, the Monday Football Review Show, where every Monday will bring you everything, all things football, from local, regional and international news. From me, your host, Maimba, and Alex.
Thank you guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week when we do another show.
See you next week, and please make sure that your comments keep coming through, so that we can have a conversation and interaction that goes both ways, and we can together speak football.